The Toyota Tacoma is not number one when it comes to this. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. And that's right, the Toyota Tacoma is not number one when it comes to this. I find it a little bit strange, but maybe not so much. Of course, we know the Toyota Tacoma is number one when it comes to mid-truck sales, by far. Nobody touches them, and frankly, I don't think anybody is going to for a while. And really, that's due to the current generation of buyers. You see, we still are around, and until we're gone, I think we're going to hold the Toyota Tacoma at number one. Now, what happens in the next generation? Well, that all depends on bling, I think, and of course, reliability and quality. That's always going to be important. But I think that might be being edged out a little bit when it comes to bling and eye-catching options in trucks these days. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about where the Toyota Tacoma isn't number one. And I'm talking about length of ownership. I did some painstaking research out on the interweb, and I came up with a list of vehicles and where they rank in length of ownership. So let's go ahead, run through them, and see where the Toyota Tacoma falls. Number one, surprisingly, is the Nissan Frontier. The average length of ownership for the Nissan Frontier is 9.1 years. In other words, people keep them for 9.1 years after they go sign the paperwork and start making those payments. Why is that? Well, the commonly agreed upon reason is because of cost. It's touted as the most affordable mid-sized truck that you can get. So it attracts practical buyers. And in attracting practical buyers, people who don't want to spend a lot of money but still have the versatility of a truck, they're going to keep them longer because they don't want to spend a bunch of money anyway. And if they can get something that's considered to be the most affordable, they're going to hold on to it for a while. And that is why I believe the Nissan Frontier is number one. Number two, the Toyota Tacoma. Now, there's not a huge difference between the numbers, between the average length of ownership. For the Toyota Tacoma, it's 9 years. So 0.1 years less than the Nissan Frontier. And honestly, there's not a huge spread between all of these numbers overall. It seems people do keep mid-sized trucks a long time, which is kind of strange for me because typically I don't. You know, I trade my Tacomas and I do stay with the Tacoma, but I trade them off every, couple of years, something like that. Now, I do go to different trim levels. I mean, I've had everything, I think, except the Limited and the TRD Pro. The Limited, because I can't find them anywhere. I don't know if I've actually ever seen a Limited on a car lot. I know they're out there, but not in my area. And the Pro, well, I don't want a finished truck. It's a perfectly capable truck, pretty much top of the line, if not top of the line for the Tacoma. But for someone like me who likes to do mods and things, I'm not going to buy a finished truck because I'd just be ripping off things that I paid for and putting different things on. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me. But if you're the kind that doesn't do any mods or anything, the TRD Pro is probably an awesome option. Let's move on through the list because I was curious, where does everybody else fall? Next up at number 3 is the Nissan Titan. Now, I realize we're getting into full-size trucks. This list looks at all trucks. The Nissan Titan comes in at 8.9 years. Kind of strange, I think, because I don't see a lot of Nissan Titans on the road. And frankly, I don't know how well the Nissan Titan is doing. I've never been a fan of it. I really don't care for the truck from a look standpoint. And I think they've had their issues as well. Number 4 is another Toyota. Now, there's only one other Toyota, right? And that's the Toyota Tundra. It comes in at 8.8 years. I'm not really surprised because I think the Tundra kind of grabs onto the coattails of the Tacoma a little bit. You know, the Tacoma's known for quality, dependability, reliability. So it doesn't really take a big stretch, in my opinion, to think that you're going to get the same thing out of the Tundra. And you do. It's an awesome truck. or at least it was. I'm not so sure about the redesign. Time will tell on that, but nonetheless, it comes in at number 4. Number 5, the Ram 1500. It comes in at 8.7 years. Now, I told you there's not a huge spread. I mean, we're talking from 9.1 down to 8.7. It's not a huge spread, but the Ram 1500, and it's an awesome truck. I've had a couple of Rams. I really do like the truck. They ran well. They still have the big honking 5.7 liter engine in them, or you can still get it anyway. And they're awesome. Lots of good technology. In the full-size truck market, I would say the Ram 1500 is the best looking truck out there. So they got a lot going for them. And I think Ram has improved a lot over the years when it comes to the 1500. Number 6, the Silverado 1500, coming in at 8.6 years, only 0.1 below the Ram 1500. The Silverado has made a big leap, I think. They did a little bit of a redesign, and I think the truck looks awesome, and I think it rivals the Ram in the full-size truck market as far as looks. I think it looks awesome. Still feels a bit pedestrian or industrial inside to me. I actually went and looked at one before I had my last Ram, and they wanted some huge markup on it. Just all kinds of bad things for me. It's why I didn't buy one. Nonetheless, it comes in at number 6. Number 7, the GMC Sierra 1500, 8.5 years. That's the average length of ownership. I don't know much about the GMCs. I've never had a GMC full-size truck. They don't really get it for me. I'm not a big fan. They're too blingy for me. They're too upscale or luxurious looking for me. Number 8, and this is the end of the list. We only found 8, and that is the Ford F-150, coming in at 8.5 years. Now, this I find kind of ironic. The Ford F-150 is by far the number 1 selling full-size, the number 1 selling truck. They've got the market. I think a lot of that is due to fleet contracts. You know, they include those numbers in all of this, and that's kind of like the old political good old boy network, you know. You've got a lot of companies out there using the F-150s as fleet vehicles. Doesn't mean they're the best, just means they have the best negotiators and relationships with companies that buy a lot of trucks. It's strange to me, too, that since they are so popular, why aren't they retained as long? Why aren't they number 1 in length of ownership? Must be something wrong. I don't know. Anyway, that's just a quick rundown. Toyota is not number 1 when it comes to the Tacoma in length of ownership. Leave a comment. Let me know. How long do you keep your truck? How long do you keep your Tacoma before you start looking for another one? Hopefully another Tacoma. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Robmotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator, which is missing from this list. Maybe because it's just too new. And Robmotive MT, all about compact trucks or mini trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.